We're here in Pantai Teluk Pelanduk in Port Dickson, and it's high tide right now, so we won't be going to the water, but we'll see what we can find among the rocks. So we're in the intertidal zone now, and the water has receded enough that we can start to see some of the creatures that are usually submerged underwater. And in front of me is a gastropod known as the oyster drill, and right now it's clinging onto the rocks very tightly so that it doesn't lose water and dry out, which would kill it lah, basically. So in front of me is a colony of sea anemones, and they don't look like anemones right now. It's because they're waiting for the tide to come in. They're out of water. So during low tide, they will close up their body, and then when the water comes back in, they open up again and continue living their life. So there are actually many species of anemones that live in the intertidal zone, and they can survive hours at a time out of water. So yeah, it's amazing to see how these animals have adapted to their environment. So we talk a bit more about the oyster drills or rock shells. They belong to the family Myricidae, murex snails, so we know that they are predators. Their whole family is comprised of predators that feed on other shell organisms. So how they do it is they secrete an acid onto the shell, then they use their radula to drill into the shell to reach the meat. So their family is also known as the drills. So they look really dull in the field because of all the build-up, but I'll show a picture right here. When you clean it up, it looks really beautiful with really striking black and white patterns. So can you see what is moving in front of me? This is called an onk slug, belonging to the family Onchidae. Now I don't know much about it, I can't tell you much, but we can see that its body is covered in these protrusions that lets it camouflage very well into the environment. So this snail in front of me, on my hand, is a chameleon nerite, belonging to the nerite family, Neritidae. So their whole family are herbivores that feed on algae, and this is one of the 4 or 5 species that we can find at the beach. It's called a chameleon nerite not because it can change color, but because the colors of the shells are very variable. It can range from red to green to yellow, sometimes black and white, so it's called a chameleon nerite. Now the beach here is known as a bay. You can see that the shoreline curves inwards in the crescent shape, and that's caused by the two ends of rocks that erode slower than the substrate in the middle, so it forms this crescent shape. So same deal here, we also have casuarina trees, but this time we can see the actual flowers, and not a lot, but I think they are almost done flowering. But you can see that it's very fuzzy and red in color. There's some more here too. When we look at the fruits here, and we can see how it works. So each of these little spikes is a capsule that contains seeds, and when it ripens and matures, it dries up, and then this part bursts open to release the seeds into the wind. So we're now outside the bay in the eastern side of the beach, and you can see these oyster covered rocks. If you ask me why they grow here and not on the main beach, I have no idea why they prefer these rocks, but they're here lah. You can see that most of them are dead because the people here actually like to eat them. So Most of them are empty. Strange why they grow here and not anywhere else. So if you look under this tree, you can see something very special. These growths that are coming out of the ground. So what they are, they have an actual name, but I can't seem to remember them right now. But they basically act as snorkels for the roots of the trees, because for when they are submerged by the tide. So I don't know the ID of this species, but if it has these snorkels, it's probably a mangrove lah, but I have no idea. Probably have to ask someone more experienced than me.